What if I told you that mountain biking could either be the perfect antidote to burnout or the very thing that pushes you deeper into it? I know that sounds dramatic, but after working with hundreds of riders over the past 15 years, both on their skills but also on their personal struggles as a psychological counselor, and also having navigated my own struggles with performance pressure and more, I've seen both sides up close. Welcome, in case you're new here, I'm Roxy, full-time mountain bike coach, certified mental trainer, psychological counselor, and I specialize in the connection between your brain, your body, and your bike. And in today's episode, we'll explore what burnout and boreout do to your nervous system and to your decision-making ability. I want to look at why mountain biking can feel like a lifeline and when it becomes a trap. I want to look at what warning signs to watch for and how to ride in a way that supports recovery. And also, I want to look at one of the most powerful tools for regaining control and balance. So if you've ever come back from a ride feeling more drained than recharged, or if you've questioned why something you love is suddenly making you feel worse, then this one is for you. First off, I want to look at what is burnout. Burnout is defined by the WHO as a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. And before I dive in, I want to say stress per se is not bad, but excessive and prolonged stress is. Symptoms include constant fatigue, loss of motivation or joy, often cynicism and detachment, very, very often sleep problems, muscle pain, and digestive issues. What many don't know, however, is that there is also boreout. Boreout is the chronic underload or a chronic overload. However, it needs to be paired with a lack of purpose, and it's just as damaging. So don't think that just because you don't feel stressed that you can't possibly feel similar symptoms as someone with burnout, because it may be boreout. So if you're having those symptoms, then do take them seriously, because in both cases, your nervous system gets stuck in chronic survival mode. So in that fight, flight, or freeze mode. And physiologically, this means that you have elevated cortisol levels for too long. Then your immune system weakens, your hormones and your digestion are disrupted, and even your brain struggles with memory, focus, and decision making. Because every decision sets free a substance called glutamate. So a lot of hard cognitive work leads to glutamate accumulation in, to be exact, in the lateral prefrontal cortex of your brain. So the need for that glutamate regulation then reduces the control exerted over decision making, and this reduced control favors the choice of low effort actions with short-term rewards, like, for example, scrolling on social media or doing something that is super risky because we are seeing that short-term reward. Truth is, modern life overwhelms the prefrontal cortex. That's the part of our brains that can make us susceptible to mental illness. And that's why I'm here to share some important information to help you navigate this modern life better and maybe set boundaries early enough. One thing is important. I'm not here to diagnose you. So if you suspect burnout or boreout, please do speak to a medical professional, because I'm not here to diagnose you. But what we will explore today is how mountain biking can play a powerful role in recovery, or in some cases worsen the cycle if it is used in the wrong way. So how can mountain biking help? Mountain biking, if done right, can be therapeutic because movement and rhythm regulate our stress hormones. For example, fresh air, nature exposure, they have been shown in several studies to lower cortisol and heart rate. Also, focusing on the trail can trigger that flow state, that magic flow state where we're in the moment and forget everything. And that is only if we are on the sweet spot where our skill level meets the demands of the trail and we're not overly challenged by the trail. Flow state can be super powerful. It's like a reset that pulls you out of worry and rumination. And also, small wins and skills progression can rebuild your sense of agency and self-confidence. I've worked with so many clients during or after burnout phases, and what helped them wasn't just writing. It was the structure of skills coaching, for example, especially actually my remote coaching, where I'm able to work with writers all over the world in front of their doorstep, because it's small, realistic drills in a safe environment that give control. And they gave them back control. And that feeling of, wow, I can learn, I can improve, I can take charge of something, that's the transformational part. So it's not only writing that helps. Skills training, especially if it's designed to meet the needs of an anxious and overwhelmed brain, can do absolute wonders in supporting recovery from burnout and exhaustion. But also, of course, enjoyable rides, immersing yourself in nature, and writing for the joy of writing, or practicing for the joy of practicing, and using mountain biking as your way to replenish can be extremely therapeutic. However, mountain biking can also backfire if you approach it the wrong way. And I want to address some of the big risk factors that I've seen over and over. These are, for example, riding too hard. Then you get stuck in fight or flight. Or chasing external validation. Like, for example, I must prove I'm fast, I'm strong, I'm capable. Look, we've all been there and we all do it sometimes, but we need to notice that if we are already in that state of exhaustion, then we really need to pull ourselves out of these situations where we feel that we need to prove something. And this often happens when we're chasing the wrong crowd. Like, for example, riding with people who push or who shame or compete, and really taking yourself out of that when you notice that you're already exhausted is truly important. Also, a big no-no is ignoring your body's messages, like forcing rides despite feeling super fatigued, or having sleep issues or mental overwhelm. Yes, it can help, but we need to always feel into ourselves. Is it just that, let's say, initial nudge that I need to get going, or am I really just too fatigued to do it, and am I pushing too much through my, I'd say, fatigue? So I've seen people think more riding is more relief, but instead they spiral deeper into depletion. So mountain biking should never be your form of punishment or your form of self-worth measurement. And yes, we may sometimes need to gently nudge or push ourselves, as I've already said, to go out and ride or practice, but it shouldn't turn into another must-do that you need to tick off. So what can we look out for or let's say, what are the warning signs or warning questions you could ask yourself? The first one is, do I feel emotionally or physically worse after riding? Am I anxious before rides? Am I anxious during rides? Is my sleep or focus deteriorating? So is it getting worse? And this is actually exactly why I'm so passionate about the remote coaching and the structured online skills programs, because they often remove the peer pressure and allow you to learn at your pace, to ride only when your body and mind are ready, to build skills progressively without those comparison traps, and to get personal feedback to reduce overthinking and guesswork, because once the skills are automatized, we stop overthinking, so we have more time to get into that flow zone, because your body and brain need time to build skills in a healthy and regulated way, not in the unrealistic expectation of like learn to jump in 2 hours. If you'd like to try this approach, you can start with my Courage and Confidence Booster program, which is a mental fitness course designed to help you regulate your nervous system, handle fear and self-doubt, and it rebuilds your inner stability. And also below I have a completely free track stand course for you, which is not just a trick, but actually an essential skill for more safety and flow on trails. To sum it up, I would say mountain biking can be a powerful tool for recovery from burnout, but only if you avoid pressure, if you listen deeply to your body, and structure your riding and practice sessions in a way that promotes growth, not more grind. And if you are ready to explore a safe, empowering way to reconnect with your bike and yourself, then do check out the links below, because they're designed to guide you toward confidence, not comparison. An important end note is you are not alone. Your nervous system can heal, and I think almost everyone has felt these moments. It's just about listening to your body and giving yourself the right conditions. So thank you for listening to this episode. If you liked it, do rate this podcast and let me know in the comments. Much love to you. Goodbye.